Hello everyone and welcome. As we gather here today, we find ourselves standing at the threshold of a new season, a time of transformation, anticipation, and for many, a sense of renewal. The world outside is shifting, and so too is the atmosphere above us. As September deepens, the US is entering a dramatic weather transition, summer's heat giving way to autumn's chill. The days are growing shorter, the sunlight softer, and the air carries a hint of crispness that signals the coming of fall. Across the country, nature is preparing for its annual transformation, and we're about to witness it firsthand. This isn't a simple switch, it's a turbulent clash between lingering warmth and surging Arctic air. The atmosphere becomes a stage for dramatic encounters, where warm, humid air masses from the south collide with cooler, drier air from the north. These battles in the sky set the scene for unpredictable weather, and sometimes spectacular displays of nature's power. The result? A battleground in the sky, fueling everything from late-season heat waves to the first real taste of fall. One day you might be reaching for sunglasses and sunscreen, the next you're digging out sweaters and umbrellas. It's a time of contrasts, and every region feels the change in its own unique way. Over the next week, we'll track storm systems, wild temperature swings, and the ongoing threat from the tropics. From sudden downpours to unseasonably warm afternoons, the weather will keep us on our toes. We'll also keep a close eye on the tropics, where hurricane season is still in full swing, and any disturbance could quickly become a headline. Today, Friday, September 19, 2025, marks a turning point in this atmospheric reshuffling. It's a date that meteorologists have circled on their calendars as patterns begin to shift more decisively toward autumn. The changes we see now will set the tone for the weeks ahead, influencing everything from daily commutes to weekend plans. Maybe you've already felt the change, a brisk morning that makes you reach for a jacket, or the sight of your breath in the air as you step outside. The grass sparkles with dew or even a hint of frost, and the world feels just a little bit different than it did a week ago. Or perhaps it's a shift in the wind, a sudden gust that rattles the windows or sends leaves swirling down the street. The wind is nature's messenger, carrying with it the promise of change and the energy of the new season. Or maybe it's just a glance at a forecast that looks nothing like last week's. Temperatures are dropping in some places, while others brace for one last burst of summer heat. The weather apps and news reports are filled with updates, and everyone is wondering what's coming next. We'll break down who gets storms, where the skies will open up with thunder and lightning, and which communities need to stay alert for sudden downpours or even severe weather. We'll also show you who bakes in the heat, as some regions hold on to summer's intensity just a little longer, with temperatures soaring and the sun blazing down. And we'll highlight who finally cools off, enjoying those first refreshing days of fall, perfect for cozy sweaters, hot drinks, and long walks under changing leaves. Understanding the why behind these changes is key to staying prepared. We'll explore the science behind the shifting patterns, and offer tips on how you and your family can stay safe and comfortable, no matter what the weather brings. The end of September brings powerful jet stream shifts, surges of moisture, and the potential for dramatic weather events. The jet stream acts like a river of wind high above us, steering storms and shaping our daily weather in ways both subtle and extreme. And with these changes comes the threat of severe weather, thunderstorms, heavy rain, and even the rare tornado. It's a reminder that this season of transition can be as unpredictable as it is beautiful. From the sun-baked deserts of the Southwest to the windswept shores of the eastern seaboard, big changes are coming for all of us. So, let's dive into what you can expect in the days ahead and get ready to embrace the winds of change together. Let's get started. When we look at the national weather map today, it's clear that two major weather systems are shaping the forecast for millions of Americans. The first is a spinning, low-pressure system centered over the Midwest, a familiar sight this time of year, but one that's packing a punch as it churns across the heartland. At the same time, a surge of tropical moisture is streaming into the Southwest, bringing with it the promise, and the threat, of heavy rain and thunderstorms. That Midwest low, which is actually a remnant of recent severe thunderstorms, is now acting as a catalyst for new rounds of rain. As it slowly drifts eastward, it's igniting fresh storms and soaking fields and cities along its path, raising concerns for flash flooding and travel disruptions. Meanwhile, the Southwest is feeling the lingering effects of Tropical Storm Mario. The storm's remnants are unleashing downpours across California, Arizona, and New Mexico, turning dry washes into raging torrents and prompting flash flood warnings in vulnerable areas. These two systems aren't isolated events. They're part of a much larger, unsettled weather pattern that's taking hold across the country. The atmosphere is in flux, and the result is a patchwork of conditions from coast to coast. While the central and southwestern states are dealing with stormy skies and heavy rain, much of the East Coast is enjoying a period of relative calm. The exception is South Florida, where persistent tropical moisture is keeping things soggy and unsettled, a reminder that hurricane season is still very much alive. This patchwork of weather, sunshine in one region, storms in another, is classic for a season in transition. As summer gives way to fall, the atmosphere becomes a battleground between lingering warmth and incoming cool air, leading to dramatic shifts in weather from one day to the next. But what we're seeing now is just the beginning. These are merely the opening acts in what could become a much more active weather pattern. By the weekend, new low-pressure systems are expected to organize off the coast of California, drawing in moisture from the Pacific and setting the stage for more widespread rain and storms. Another system will take shape over Wyoming, bringing unsettled weather to the northern Rockies and the plains, and signaling the arrival of a new wave of active weather for the week ahead. These developing systems will tap into even more moisture, and as the jet stream shifts and strengthens, it will help steer these storms across the country, increasing the risk for heavy rain, gusty winds, and even the possibility of severe weather in some areas. The result will be a train of storms, one after another, poised to sweep from west to east, affecting millions of people and bringing a variety of weather hazards along the way. So, whether you're in the path of rain, wind, or simply watching the skies change, nearly everyone across the nation will feel the impact of this evolving weather pattern in the days to come. Stay tuned, because the big picture is only just beginning to unfold. Today, the heartland faces a risk of strong to severe thunderstorms thanks to that spinning low. Central Kansas and southern Nebraska are in the crosshairs for damaging winds and large hail this afternoon and evening. The main threat window is 4 to 8 p.m., right during the evening commute. There's also a small but real tornado risk, especially near North Platte, Nebraska, and east of Goodland, Kansas. Even a marginal day can produce a surprise, so have a way to get warnings. This marks the start of second severe weather season, as autumn's cold fronts clash with lingering summer heat. Today's storms are just a preview. A more widespread severe event could develop in the coming weeks. Stay alert as the pattern grows more active. Early next week, a stronger storm system will sweep across the Central Plains, tapping Gulf moisture and setting up a classic severe weather scenario. The threat zone stretches from the central and southern plains into the Midwest, with supercell thunderstorms possible. Large hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes are all on the table. Meanwhile, a separate disturbance could spark gusty storms from the Carolinas to Maryland. The atmosphere is growing more volatile. Quiet days are numbered. Now's the time to review your severe weather plan and make sure you can get alerts. Being prepared means being ready, not scared. The other big story this week? Wild temperature swings are making headlines across the country, and it's not just a matter of a few degrees. We're talking about dramatic shifts that can catch you off guard no matter where you live. Much of the country is still basking in August-like warmth, with temperatures soaring into the 80s and 90s. From the Great Lakes all the way down to Texas, it feels like summer just doesn't want to let go. Parks are packed, people are out in shorts and t-shirts, and the sun is blazing down as if it's still the middle of July. But it's about to get even hotter. A surge of heat ahead of next week's storm system will push the mercury even higher. North Texas could flirt with the 100 degrees Fahrenheit mark, making it feel more like the peak of summer than the start of fall. For many, it's a last blast of heat before the seasons truly begin to change. This intense heat acts like fuel for the atmosphere, powering up storms and setting the stage for dramatic weather. When all that warm air collides with a rush of incoming cold air, the result is a recipe for powerful storms and sudden changes. Think of it as stretching a rubber band. The bigger the difference between hot and cold, the bigger the snap when the weather finally breaks. Winds pick up, skies darken, and the atmosphere can turn on a dime. Meanwhile, in New England, autumn is already making its presence felt. Crisp mornings, people bundling up in light jackets, and the first hints of color in the trees are all signs that fall is just around the corner. It's a preview of what's coming for the rest of the country. As October approaches, these cooler air masses will only grow stronger and more common. Soon, more regions will trade in their summer gear for sweaters and scarves as the chill spreads south and west. Right now the nation is split, summer heat dominating one corner, autumn chill settling in another. It's a tug-of-war between the seasons and everyone is waiting to see which will win out in the coming weeks. So buckle up and get ready for a true weather roller coaster. The ride from summer heat to autumn chill is just getting started. Next week, watch for a backdoor cold front, cool air sneaking in from the northeast, not the usual west. High pressure over eastern Canada will push a wedge of crisp, dry air into the Midwest and Great Lakes. Cities like Chicago, Detroit, and Cleveland will feel a real autumn shock, with overnight lows plunging into the 30s and 40s. This front will act as a roadblock, forcing storms and moisture to detour south, while the Great Lakes cool down. The southern plains and southeast stay warm and unsettled. The backdoor front isn't just a local cool down, it helps steer the nation's weather. By next weekend, more of the country could get a true taste of fall. September means hurricane season is still in full swing. Tropical storm Gabriel, northeast of the Lesser Antilles, is no threat to the U.S. but could impact Bermuda as a hurricane early next week. Even a near miss could bring strong winds and high surf to the island. After Bermuda, Gabriel heads into the North Atlantic and weakens. Meanwhile, another tropical wave off Africa could develop as it moves west, classic for this time of year. Closer to home, meteorologists are watching for a possible Central American gyre in the Caribbean or Southern Gulf by month's end. These systems can spin up storms quickly, so Gulf Coast residents should stay alert. The tropics are far from quiet. Next week, expect a train of storms. Multiple low-pressure systems lined up across the U.S. The main storm track runs from the Central Plains through the Ohio Valley and southeast, bringing rounds of rain and storms. High pressure over the Great Lakes will lock in cool air to the north, while the south stays wet and humid. Flooding is a concern where storms repeat, especially for farmers and anyone with outdoor plans. The contrast will be sharp, crisp, dry air to the north, sticky and stormy to the south. Autumn forecasting is a challenge. Multiple systems, shifting boundaries, and lots of moving parts. The strength and position of high pressure will steer the storms and determine rainfall. We'll be tracking every step as the pattern unfolds. The U.S. is entering a period of rapid, sometimes dangerous weather change. From severe storms in the plains to dramatic temperature swings and active tropics, there's a lot to track. Don't be caught off guard, forecasts can change quickly. If you're in the plains or Midwest, review your severe weather plan and have a way to get warnings. Great Lakes residents, get ready for a real taste of autumn. In the south and southeast, prepare for a wet, stormy stretch. And remember, hurricane season isn't over yet. Preparedness is about action. Check your weather radio, charge your phone, and talk to your family. Weather is powerful, but awareness is your best defense. Stay safe, stay informed, and be weather aware.